Hey everybody, what's up? It's me, Odio, and I'm here today to talk about Avatar Fire and Ash. Yes, I went through the 3 hour and 10 minute bum-numbing experience of a lifetime that I'm sure you're all excited to hear about. Another fun fact, if you watch all three back to back, it's just over 9 hours, but there is an extended director's cut of part one, so don't worry, you can squeeze in a little bit more of that Avatar fun if you want.
Perfect.
So Avatar 3 Fire and Ash continues the story of Jake Sully and his wife Neytiri and their family. And if you haven't seen all three movies, well, let me tell you, you're in for a visual treat, but not a whole lot of a deep storyline going on. I loved the first one, but I had a hard time naming two characters when I got to the theater. Who knows who these people were, but they looked awesome. The whole first Avatar takes place in a forest, kind of like the Earth Avatar. And the second one is The Way of the Water, where they're in the waterland and there's a whole bunch of whales. And the first one, of course, is kind of like Fern Gully. Humans are coming to destroy all the forests. And then, here in the third movie, we're doing the Fire and Ash. Now, pretty much Aang will have to get all these powers combined and then go to the air to get all four. But anyway, what Avatar seems to lack in storyline, it makes up for in visual acuity. And just like the other two, this movie is looking fantastic. They do water better than anyone, and you're going to see a whole lot of underwater scenes in this, and they are a blast and a joy to see. Even they have these new air whales as well, who seem to fly around and carry these giant pirate ships behind them for the Na'vi. They look fantastic, and the world looks fantastic. When you see the humans coming in with all their big ships and their boats and their weapons, absolutely spot on. A fantastical spectacle that cannot be defeated by any other movie that's come out this year, but still lacks in story. But hey, it looks great. And in this movie, for all their efforts, we're following Jake Sully and his family still struggling to survive, living with that old water tribe they had over there. Now, they did lose a son at the end of the last movie, and let me tell you, they're all real sad about it. This movie's 3 hours and 10 minutes long, and they must muff around about this for at least an hour or so, complaining that he's dead, he's gone, whatever. Move on, guys. He ain't coming back. This isn't a Marvel movie.
He's out of line, but he's right.
And I say it's not a Marvel movie with all earnestness, because they won't be plucking him out of a multiverse. But then, there you go, we get on to the villain in this one, and guess who it is? Yes, that's right, General Miles Corch, again, played by Stephen Lang. He's in a Na'vi body now. Well, I guess he's really in an Avatar, half human, half Na'vi, but he's back. He's back for all three movies. Does he get killed in all of them? Well, pretty much yes.
Not a great plan.
But he's back again looking crazier than ever, trying to get Jake Sully, or maybe trying to join up with Jake Sully, or maybe he's just trying to save his son. You be the judge when you watch the movie, but let me tell you, a lot of that happens. But anyway, this movie has quite a few plot points going on. Jake and the gang are living with the Water Tribe, and they've got Spider with them, who's actually General Corch, or no, he's Colonel Corch's son, and he's a human, but he wears these masks. He only has two of them, and he's not great at keeping them charged or swapping them out, so he almost dies by breathing Na'vi air a whole bunch of times. Pandora is not friendly to humans. If you don't remember, their air is poisonous, and we will all die there. So as I mentioned earlier, a big plot point is their son has died, and Neytiri, the wife of Jake, has decided she hates humans, calls them sky people and the pink ones, and she really doesn't like spiders. She even suggests, I'm pretty sure she wants to kill them at one point, and at another point, I think Jake almost agrees with her. Get out of there, Spider, you ain't safe. But maybe you could go with your dad, Colonel Corch, but not sure it's going to be a lot safer over there. But a lot of the Cruxus is following him. Where does he go? The humans want him, and Jake wants him. Everybody wants this guy. He's not that cool, but he's got some good jokes.
Right.
We also do get a lot of Sigourney Weaver kid face. She plays Kiri. She's back again, and let me tell you, it's not so creepy to see Sigourney Weaver's face on a young Na'vi child, but it is a little bit creepier when she gets CGI'd in later. And a lot of times when she talks, I'm like, well, she sounds pretty old and wise for her age, probably because she's almost a 7-year-old woman doing the voiceover, but overall, it's all right. Just like the Colonel, she gets to come back again in another body, but we're not bringing back Jake's son, none of that.
Hey, fellas, can I join?
Sorry. No homers.
And Sigourney Weaver-faced kid spends most of the movie trying to talk to God, touch God, AWA, trying to go through and find God or get God to do what they want. I don't really know what the heck's going on there. They all have those big hair ponytails that they use to shove into animals and take control of them and bend them to their will. Totally nothing wrong with that. Absolutely, totally a great way to respect nature. But it gives Sigourney Weaver kid powers and things so she can move things or whatever, or get the world to respond to her. I'm not really sure what's going on there. The movie doesn't fully explain it, but yeah, she seems to have god powers. Anyway, she's not the main draw here either. We're really going to be following Jake. And let me tell you, if you like movies where people get captured and there's a lot of exposition and people have to go on rescue missions, well, let me tell you, Avatar Fire and Ash may have just been tailor-made for you, because we get that all over the place in this one.
Nice. Nice.
There's a pretty good family story here buried with Jake and his family living there within the water tribe, having to make decisions, missing their son that's passed away and wishing he was still there. And the other kids that are there, they're all right, but they're really not that interesting. One of them goes off to talk to whales. Oh, I got to bring this up too. By the way, there's a lot of whale talking in this movie.
It sure is nice to have somebody to talk to. Can't we talk more, please?
Also, another other weird thing about all this whale talk, and maybe not just Dr. Dolittle, but maybe the old Dory. Hello there, whale. It kind of felt like that at some points.
We need
Dory.
to
What are you doing?
Dr. Dolittle's presence has actually been felt all across the galaxy, including on now Pandora, where they can now talk to certain animals. Well, mostly just whales. And it's actually a pretty funny dichotomy because the whales in the water seem to come up and they can talk. They have their own society. There's a matriarch and everything like this. They refuse to fight because they don't want to cause more violence, and they have their own community. Oh, that's a pretty good whale time, I would say. But you know who doesn't seem to have their own community? Whatever these sky whale things are. They don't seem to be talking to anybody. They're all harnessed up to giant pirate ships which fly through the air and carry Na'vi and humans alike wherever they want to go. I kid you not, they're really doing that. I have no idea why. And if the ship goes down and burns, well, guess what? That whale's going down with it, flying nowhere anymore. Holy cow. If you're going to draw stinks to see which whale life you want to live, you better hope you're in the water.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
But leaving the whales aside, we turn to a very familiar story. Tribe that Jake lives with gets in trouble because this time another tribe's coming. The Fire Tribe, hence the fire and ash. And I'm not going to lie, I have a hard time telling which Na'vi is which when they're all talking. All the Pandoran residents kind of look the same to me, even with the CGI. I know who Jake is, I know who Neytiri is, and definitely Sigourney Weaver face. Who the heck could forget that? But when they come to the Fire and Ash group, the Fire Tribe, at least they're all like marked red, so I kind of know who they are. They're shooting fire bows. They have an insane queen who's one of the craziest villains you're going to see in anything, and every time they appear, they hiss, like they're coming at you like steaks or something like that. Kind of creepy.
Stop it. Get some help.
Once the Fire Tribe attacks, though, then the whole dynamic changes because then they realize, well, just not humans aren't the only enemy. Now the Fire Tribe could be the enemy as well. And the Fire Tribe's like, why do these people have guns and things? What are those? I want some of those. So they kind of go off and talk to the humans, and the Na'vi don't like that. Jake and his clan are trying to collect guns from the bottom of the ocean to prepare for war, but the tribe doesn't want to do it. Holy cow, you got a lot going on here. But keeping in mind, you also have 3 hours to deal with it, and they're constantly saying how Jake's son, the only one he has left really, has the strength of the ancestors inside him. At one point, Neytiri says, I don't know, with my son gonna have nothing to live for, no one around. No, I guess not, just Jake and all your children and your tribe and everything else. But no, yeah, you go on, girl.
Uh-huh. Uh-uh. Uh-huh.
And then we come around to my ever-favorite foil of the Na'vi, the humans. And let me tell you, in this one, there's a lot of humans on the planet. They don't really show how they get there, where they come from, or what's going on, but there's a whole compound built. You can see they have big oxygen tanks. There's like hundreds of humans with masks on. They almost look like a protest crowd at one point. What's going on up there? And let me tell you, not only is there a big human population up there on this planet, this movie and all of them really are super anti-human. The humans just suck. They call them sky people. Nobody likes them. They're like the whole planet's run by a corporation. They're just inherently evil. What happened to Earth dying? Remember in the first movie, at least in the director cut, you see the planet, you see how messed up it is. They never show you Earth anymore. All the flashbacks are different things, making people look corrupt or evil or whatever. But like, remember, humans have nowhere else to go. What else are we supposed to do? I guess we got no options, but you know, we do have one option. Take this planet over. We're introduced to a new lady general, and we got the evil lady queen, and then we got the colonel, Stephen Lang there. It's a real trio of evil, and then there's going to be a big fight, of course, with Jake and everybody, because, of course, that's all Stephen Lang wants. He wants to hunt down Jake and get him. Where are you? I'm going to kill you. That's his only mission, his only goal, but he ends up also wanting to save his son quite a few times, and that seems to be the real crux in a lot of the conflicts here. I'm not sure whether it's a plus or a minus, but probably a minus. But I would say the most emotion I felt in the whole movie was when a whale was giving a speech one time about what the humans had done to him. I almost teared up on that one. Most of the other dialogue falls pretty flat. There's a lot of combat, and I gotta say, the combat looks fantastic. They get into the action, the explosions, the 3D, everything looks spectacular. James Cameron does not miss a beat when it comes to the CGI and how everything looks, but again, the big moments, they kind of fall flat in some ways because I might be tired because I've been here for 7 years of my life watching this movie.
I was there, Gandalf. I was
was there 3,000 years ago.
There are so many like little combat moments and little escapes and captures and fights and speeches and everything. By the end of it, we even get Sully's dragon back. Yeah, you know that great big one from movie 1? He comes back to help unite the tribes so they can face off against the fire tribe and the humans. And maybe we're going to get Sigourney Weaver face. Maybe she's going to go get a god, or the whale's going to get involved. Yes, everything is going to happen. It's like Hobbit, the Battle of Five Armies at the end. Everything is just coming in, one up in each other. Oh, you got this, now we got this. They get giant boats, explosions, missiles. It looked spectacular on the screen, but I'm not gonna lie, by the time that fight came around, it's past the 2.5 hour mark, and wow, my bum was numb.
I can't feel my ass. My ass done fell asleep. I didn't even know our ass could fall asleep. It's all tingly and shit.
It did wake my butt up a bit to see the big armies and the fights and the great finale at the end of the movie, but like I said, it takes way too long to get there. By the time that happened, I really didn't care how good the CGI looked. I just was bored.
Boring.
Overall, by the end of the movie, your bum is numb and your mind is a little bit numb too. There's not a whole lot that happens, and it just sort of has a general malaise, I would almost say, by the end. It feels a lot like retreaded ground. Like Avatar 1 was good, really good. I loved that. Saw that in theater, loved it to death. When I saw part 2, it had been like 13 years since the first one. I think that a kind of, fondness, what is it they say? Absence. Is absence makes the heart grow fonder. That's the one. Something like that, but it had been so long. When I saw the second Avatar, it felt fresh, new, exciting, and they were under the water. But with this one, they're under the water, they're facing another tribe, the humans are still evil. It just felt like I'd already kind of seen it before, and it was really, really long. Avatar is a pretty exciting movie with amazing CGI. The best you're going to see this side of Avatar 2 is going to be Avatar 3, and there's a lot of good action, exciting moments. You're going to get a family dynamic, and you get a whole new planet of aliens. I mean, what's not to like? Overall, Avatar is pretty much what you expect from an Avatar movie. Great CGI and visuals, good action scenes, and a pretty decent story. And my goodness, a runtime that I was a young man when I went in. There are rumors I'm still in the theater somewhere waiting for the credits to roll for this movie, but it hasn't happened yet. Overall, not too bad a time. I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 10 on the odometer. Pretty good on the visuals and things like that. Falls flat on the story, and my ass is numb from sitting in the theater for 3 hours and 10 minutes. But thanks so much for watching this far, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, everybody. And remember, everybody, stay out of trouble.